welcome back to the SUPES channel. My name is Matthew Ramos, and on this channel I am to entertain, inform, and inspire using the topic of discussion as always, which is superheroes! Guys, today we are here to talk about the biggest announcement out of Marvel's Disney Investor Day panel, which was the announcement of a Fantastic Four movie. Thank you, Kevin Feige. Thank you, Kevin Feige. But finally, we got our confirmation that a Fantastic Four movie is in the works, and today I'm going to break down the entire announcement, my feelings about it, my feelings about, the other things that they said about this movie and who's going to be involved in it. And without further ado, right before we get into breaking that down, guys, make sure to hit that bell notification on my channel to get notified when I post videos just like this. Now, without further ado, let's break down Marvel's Fantastic Four announcement. So Marvel unveiled a ton of goodies at Disney Investor Day. Like, to be honest, I've never seen Kevin Feige in my entire life announce so many things in such a short amount of time. Like, it was non-stop, one right after the other. WandaVision trailer, Falcon Winter Soldier, Loki, What If, this, that, boom, 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 boom. Kevin Feige just did not stop. He was on a roll. The man came in and just completely broke the world. Was trending on Twitter all over the place, but Kevin Feige knows what's up. He is the father. He is the godfather of Marvel. So with that being said, they ended the panel by announcing a Fantastic Four movie. Finally, guys, I could not be more excited for this project because the Fantastic Four are one of my favorite Marvel teams of all time. I grew up loving these characters. Like, I grew up watching the old OG Fantastic Four movie, the old animated series. I love the Fantastic Four with my heart and soul. Reed Richards is one of my favorite characters of all time, as well as Johnny Storm. So I'm beyond excited to see Marvel actually moving forward and saying the Fantastic Four are coming. And they're not coming in Phase 5. The Fantastic Four movie is a part of Phase 4. It's likely to come out in 2023, but now we know that a Fantastic Four movie is coming. So now that it's announced, we're actually going to start to hear some more details about the movie as it continues to go into production. This includes casting announcements, auditions, leaks, this, that. You know me, guys. I'm always bringing you guys leaked information that actually turns out to be true. So now that a Fantastic Four movie is announced, we're going to continue to hear more details about this movie over the coming months. But going into Disney Investor Day, I had 3 wildcard announcements. These wildcard announcements were things that weren't likely to be announced, but would shock everyone if they were announced. And my 3 wildcard announcements were Deadpool 3, an announcement on Deadpool 3, now that Deadpool 3 actually has writers to it. I thought they were going to bring out, Ryan Reynolds maybe, or just give us some updates on Deadpool 3. A Fantastic Four movie announcement, or the Spider-Man 3 first look, or a Nova movie announcement. Now, we only got 1 of the 4, and that was a Fantastic Four movie announcement. It was something that set the entire internet into a frenzy, because we haven't gotten a good Fantastic Four on screen in a very long time. They came out with Fox decided to come out with Fan Four Stick back in 2015, and it was a complete bombshell of a movie. And now it's so nice to see that Marvel is finally taking action towards integrating the Fox properties over from Fox into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's only a matter of time before they announce the X-Men. It's only a matter of time before we see Deadpool in the MCU. It's going to be so huge, and now that they've officially announced Fantastic Four, now everything else is moving into place. Everything else is being ushered in to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So as this crazy Marvel Disney panel was coming to a close, Kevin Feige says the words, "And now, to talk about something we haven't announced yet." As soon as he said those words, my heart froze for a sec. And then, guys, my camera cut out as I was watching it, so I had to record my facial reaction on my phone, and this was my reaction to the announcement of Marvel announcing a Fantastic Four movie.
And finally, I'm happy to announce a film about one of the truly iconic Marvel families.
Oh my God.
In fact, Marvel's first family, Fantastic.
The Fantastic Four!
Directed by the director of our recent Spider-Man films, John Watts.
Oh my God, and John Watts is directing.
We've got a lot.
They just announced Fantastic Four!
Disney Plus is key to
Fantastic Four, dude!
It will be home for both our feature films and our series for years and years to come.
So you guys can see I am obviously extremely passionate about this Fantastic Four project because these characters just mean so much to me. And you know, I would be lying if I told you that I didn't die a little when I heard that John Watts is going to be the director of this movie, because we heard the rumors of John Krasinski potentially coming in to play, not only play Reed Richards, but direct and write the Fantastic Four movie. Now, I really think that we are going to get John Krasinski and Emily Blunt as Reed Richards and Sue Storm. The castings are just too perfect, and they have actively said that they want to be a part of the MCU. They want to take on these characters. So I still think it's going to happen. It would be very disappointing if they don't cast John Krasinski and Emily Blunt as Reed Richards and Sue Storm. But again, Marvel's the best in the game when it comes to castings, and they know what they're doing. So I have my full faith in Marvel, but with this one decision of having John Watts direct the Fantastic Four movie, I kind of died a little bit inside, because you guys know how I feel about movies like Spider-Man Homecoming, Spider-Man Far From Home, and the way John Watts has managed the character of Tom Holland's Spider-Man in the MCU. And the reason I know it's not Marvel or Sony is because the Russo brothers have handled Spider-Man perfectly. Spider-Man in Civil War was perfect. Spider-Man in Avengers Infinity War was perfect. Spider-Man in Avengers Endgame was perfect. But then when it comes to his solo movies, this is where they get to ruining the character for me. And not necessarily ruining the character for me, but showing the character in a way that doesn't resonate with me and with OGs, like OG Spider-Man fans. And that's not to say that MCU Spider-Man isn't good, because I'm sure MCU Spider-Man is amazing and resonates with kids that are growing up with Tom Holland as the definitive version of Spider-Man. But the majority of fans didn't grow up like that. We grew up with Tobey Maguire. We grew up with the 90s animated series. We grew up with the Spectacular Spider-Man. We grew up with Andrew Garfield. These were our versions of Spider-Mans, and not even to mention the Spider-Man from the comics. So now that we're getting Tom Holland, it's just the way John Watts has managed the character is something that I don't really like, and that's why I'm kind of iffy about him directing this Fantastic Four movie. But to play devil's advocate to my own opinion, the fact that John Watts would step away from the biggest franchise of all time, which is the Spider-Man franchise, because Spider-Man is Marvel's biggest character, the fact that he would step away from that franchise to direct a Fantastic Four movie, one, it shows me that he's more passionate about Fantastic Four than he is Spider-Man. And by Marvel making this move of having him direct Fantastic Four, John Watts has become the first director to direct multiple franchise movies. So he's the first director in the MCU to do this that aren't Avengers movies. The Russo brothers, of course, directed a couple of Captain America movies, and then they directed Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. But John Watts is moving over from the Spider-Man movies over to the Fantastic Four. But to continue to play devil's advocate to my own opinion, because someone like you might dislike John Watts' Spider-Man movies and might be a little iffy about him directing Fantastic Four, but you should not only be excited because the fact that he's choosing to leave the Spider-Man franchise to direct Fantastic Four, but out of all of the directors that have gone up to direct a Fantastic Four movie, Marvel decided to choose John Watts. And that's because he probably showed him an outline of his version of a Fantastic Four movie, and out of all of the other directors, Marvel said, that is our guy. John Watts is our guy. That is the story we're going to bring to life. And again, I have full faith in Marvel. All of my trust is in Marvel because of their track record. Marvel doesn't miss. So I have full faith in John Watts. I have full faith in Marvel and the people that are standing behind John Watts and putting him on this stage to direct a Fantastic Four movie. But again, for me personally speaking, it's something that I'm going to have to see it to believe it. Like, I'm going to have to see what John Watts can really do with a Fantastic Four franchise and with a Marvel movie in a positive light. I'm going to have to see that to believe it, because even though I have full faith in John Watts and the people over at Marvel, I also had full faith in him when it came time for Spider-Man Homecoming, when it came time for Spider-Man Far From Home. And for me, those movies didn't really resonate with me. And for other passionate Spider-Man fans, not to say that there aren't passionate Spider-Man fans that like those movies, but it didn't resonate with a lot of Spider-Man fans. And I don't think he's managed the character of Spider-Man correctly in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, unlike the Russo brothers. So now that he's moving over to manage the Fantastic Four, for him to successfully manage the Fantastic Four in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it's something I'm going to have to see it in order to believe it. Now I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt, But again, I have my reservations because of what he's done with the character of Spider-Man in Spider-Man Homecoming and Spider-Man Far From Home. So when I first saw that Fantastic Four announcement, I obviously freaked out when I saw that four form on my freaking screen because finally, oh my god, the Fantastic Four. What? Marvel's bringing the Fantastic Four into the MCU. Reed Richards is going to be one of the faces, one of the most important characters in the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. And oh my god, Reed Richards, like, with the exclusion of Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man, Chris Evans' Captain America after the events of Avengers Endgame, Reed Richards is going to be one of those guys to step in and fill that void. He's just that big of a character. So I couldn't be more excited with the things that Marvel is doing with their Fantastic Four project. Finally hearing something from them and hearing them acknowledge that this project is in the works, that we are coming, the Fantastic Four are coming, the first family is coming. I couldn't be more excited, and to just see that four form on my screen like it did, I freaking exploded. It turned me back into the little kid that grew up loving these characters. But again, once I saw John Watts, a part of me kind of died a little bit because of, you know, what he's done with Spider-Man Homecoming and Spider-Man Far From Home. But again, after I took a step back, reanalyzed the whole situation and why he would just make that decision to leave Spider-Man to do Fantastic Four, shows me that he's more passionate about Fantastic Four. And again, we're all for passionate directors taking on passion projects because that's when they're their best. But now that John Watts is leaving the Spider-Man franchise after Spider-Man 3, who's gonna step in and direct some Spider-Man movies? I have the perfect substitute. His name is Sam Raimi, the director of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Spider-Man is gonna need a new director. Because we know Tom Holland's Spider-Man is getting another trilogy. Tom Holland's Spider-Man is here to stay. He is getting he's getting so many more movies. So with Spider-Man in need of a new director moving forward, I think you bring back Sam Raimi and have him manage the character of Spider-Man because he handled Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man so perfectly. And I think, oh my god, to see Sam Raimi come back and direct the next trilogy of Tom Holland's Spider-Man movies, I think for me that would solidify Tom Holland as the greatest Spider-Man of all time, even though we haven't even seen those movies yet. Because I know that Sam Raimi is going to make Tom Holland's Spider-Man he's going to make him the definitive version of Spider-Man over what he did with Tobey Maguire's version of Spider-Man. So guys, with that being said, we have so much coming our way. We have Spider-Man 3, obviously, that's still coming. That announcement is still coming, despite everything that went on with Marvel's Disney Investor Day. But they capped it off with the announcement of a Fantastic Four movie. Something we're all beyond excited to see. Something that is coming over from the Fox properties. So now it ushers in, it paves the way for projects like Deadpool to be announced, for projects like the X-Men to be announced. And I couldn't be more excited to see the Fantastic Four project be announced by Marvel and to finally show that there's movement on this. They are coming. That's what that announcement told me. We didn't see casting announcements. We